Hello, I'm Emily Berteau, and welcome to Sort of Crash Course World History, and today we'll be talking about technological innovations from 1900 to the present. I know, I'm not John Green. This video has been created by my co-host, who will later join us for our AP World History final project, and I. We're going to start off with the topic of medicine. Alright, so who here is interested in medicine? It's generally a boring topic unless you're a doctor. But we're going to try to keep you engaged. So the medical revolution began around 1900. Diseases began to be identified for what they were, and cures slowly began to be developed. Of course, scientists still haven't figured out how to cure all of the diseases in the world, but they've made significant progress. One disease that we haven't quite worked out yet is malaria. Malaria is a disease associated with poverty, and it's common in Africa. Majorities of people believe that mosquitoes cause this disease, but that's not entirely true. Parasites called plasmodia get into the blood that mosquitoes take in, and these parasites are then transmitted to humans when mosquitoes bite them. Mosquitoes just get a bad rep because they're the carriers of this disease. Stupid plasmodia. Plasmodiae? Is there a plural of plasmodia? Malaria continues to kill 1 million people each year, generally children under the age of 5. This disease remains a serious problem in many countries. Preventative medicines, such as quinine, exist, but most countries that are affected by this disease don't have the medicine to distribute to their people. Quinine was discovered in Peru. Another disease causing huge issues in the United States and Africa is HIV or AIDS. HIV causes AIDS, and certain drug cocktails are used to help lengthen the life of the person who contracts the disease. HIV, for those who don't know, infects certain white blood cells, specifically T helper cells and macrophages, and the infected cells die. This causes the individual who has HIV's immune system to be extremely weakened, and often someone who has HIV can die from a simple cold. There is currently no cure for HIV or AIDS, but there are some treatments and some ways to guard oneself from contracting the disease. However, scientists have also made serious medicinal advances during this period of history. First of all, American doctor Jonas Salk created the polio vaccine. This vaccine ended the polio scare, a disease that affected mainly children. Polio attacks the nerve cells of the body, and as a result, many children who contracted polio ended up paralyzed for the rest of their lives. After the invention of the vaccine, life improved for children because the body grows immunity towards polio after the age of 18. Dr. Jonas Salk really did a fabulous job. He should get a reward, so I made this. What? He already received the Nobel Peace Prize? Mine's better. In addition, scientists created the wonder drug penicillin. Rebecca, can we get jazz hands for penicillin?
No.
Is it bad that I want to say penicillin?
Yes.
Probably. Anyway, penicillin is an antibiotic discovered in 1931. Penicillin has cured many diseases such as Pneumonia pallidum, syphilis, strep pyogenes, strep throat, and Pasteurella multocida, dog and cat bites. Did you know that? Rebecca wrote all of those Latin names down just so that I would struggle with pronunciation? Mean. Moving right along, it's time to bring Rebecca out to talk about military technology.
Hey everyone, my name is Rebecca Perez, and I've known this idiot for a really long time.
A long time.
Yeah. Anyway, military technology has evolved a lot in the past century. During the World Wars, a concept called the trench warfare was invented. These trenches were the domain of the infantry, with the supporting arms of the mortars, machine guns, engineers, and the forward positions of the artillery observers. Many different types of trenches were constructed depending on the battle area, although a small proportion of the army actually served here.
I'm really glad humans got past the idea of, let's just all stand in a straight line and shoot at each other.
Yeah, ducking does prove to be useful to someone who's living.
Another technological innovation created during the World Wars was the atomic bomb. The explosion of an atomic bomb was caused by fission or splitting of atomic nuclei. The first nuclear weapons were 2 fission bombs used by the United States during World War II in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The bomb Little Boy was dropped on Hiroshima, killing 100,000 people, and the bomb Fat Man was dropped on Nagasaki, killing 87,000.
Military technology continues to have significant innovations to this day.
Yes, one day we'll have starships and Starfleet in the United Federation of Planets.
Emily,
I will join Starfleet Academy.
you'd be dead. Anyways, moving on to the environment, where we'll be talking about the Green Revolution and global warming. The Green Revolution began in the 1940s in Mexico.
And she's not from Mexico.
Yeah. Continuing, it refers to a series of research and technology transfer initiatives, which increased agricultural production around the world during the Green Revolution. Plants that had the largest seeds, they were selected to create the most production possible. After selectively breeding these plants, they evolved to have all the characteristics of larger seeds. These larger seeds then created more grain yield. Grain yield. Finally, by selectively breeding plants that were not sensitive to daylight, researchers like Borlaug, the so-called father of the Green Revolution, were able to double a crop's production because the plants were not limited to certain areas of the globe based solely on the amount of light available to them.
Moving along because I'm bored, let's talk about global warming.
Global warming sucks. The end. Oh, I'm supposed to keep talking. My bad. The Earth's temperature has risen by 256 Kelvin over the past century. This is caused by the increase of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. This began with the Industrial Revolution.
Pollution sucks.
Yeah.
In order to cut pollution, we should recycle, bike to work or school, use a smart car because smart cars are cool, like Fezzes. Fezzes are cool.
Smart cars use electricity, and if electricity is produced with cool things like solar energy, wind energy, hydro energy, and water energy? Hydro energy?
The point is that we can use water to create energy. These different types of energy are renewable sources of energy, which means it can be reused.
Next, I'll be talking about psychology, the theory of relativity, and the Big Bang Theory.
The show?
No.
Well then.
And quantum mechanics. Just kidding. Moving on to psychology, which encompasses a scientific study of the human mind and its functions, especially those affecting behavior in a given context. A psychology researcher is called a psychologist, which makes sense, and can be classified as a social scientist. Psychologists attempt to understand the role of mental functions in an individual and social behavior, while also exploring Emily, I'm foreign, I can't pronounce these things. Physiological and neurobiological processes that underlie certain cerebral functions and behaviors. Yes, I did teleport here. Psychological information is often useful to the assessment and treatment of mental health problems such as OCD, obsessive-compulsive disorder, depression, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, ADD, ADHD, etc. Another technological advancement was the Big Bang Theory, which is that the universe was in an extremely hot, dense state which expanded rapidly. This rapid expansion caused the universe to cool and resulted in its present continuous expanding state. According to the most recent measurement and observations, the Big Bang occurred approximately 13.75 billion years ago, which is, as a result, considered the age of the universe. That's old.
Your mom's old.
Yes, she is. Well, I'm Rebecca Perez, and this is sort of not really Crash Course World History. Hopefully we didn't bore you to death.